Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, today we are continuing lesson 6, part 2. We are with the letter Dad, inshallah. And first of all, we start Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim wa bis salah ala Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Part 1, we talked about the letter Dad, and today we are going to mention some mistakes that occur when pronouncing the letters, knowing why they happen and how they can be corrected. First of all, pronouncing it like a dha, the letter dha. Is it possible that the dad can be pronounced dha? Yeah, sure. The correct pronunciation is ضل ضل. But if the tip of my tongue that is touching where we explained last time, if I slide it a little bit outside, it's going to sound like this. ضل ضل. This means that the tip of my tongue is not touching the area where it should be touching, but it's a little bit forward against the upper incisors. Okay, so instead of saying ضل, we say ضل ضل. So the meaning has changed from ضل, meaning lost his way, to ضل, which is shadowed, and this is lahn jalid. This should not be done. Of course, I just want to tell you something. When we say it should not be done, but we are learners, okay? We stay learning all our life. So as long as we do not mean the mistake, as long as the mistake has occurred because I'm not aware of it and I forgot it, this is totally okay. Okay? So, because some people are really scared, lahnun jalay, yes, it is lahnun jalay, but we are learning. We are learning. We do not mean the mistake. Okay? So to pronounce it properly, I need to the front part of the tongue to touch where it should be touching, and also the sides should be also pressing where they should be pressing against the upper teeth. Okay, so the itbaq will happen, and even the letter dha has itbaq. We're going to talk about it later on. It has itbaq, but the tip of the tongue it's open. It has an open area, not like the dad, it's totally closed. What is the second mistake that can occur? Second mistake is to pronounce the dad as a dal. And actually this is a very common mistake. Instead of saying tufiduna, again, tufiduna, and just make sure, don't make tafkhim the letter for the letter ta, so it becomes tufi, tufiduna, just getting ready for the dad, you know, but it is tu. One of the students whom I was listening to today, her reading, and I was telling her, you know how you can, how you should be doing is that you should be pronouncing the first letter separately on its own and listen to the sound of it. So it's ta, dhamma, tu, okay? So this sound needs to be available, needs to be heard when I'm pronouncing the whole word. Tufiduna. So the mistake that happens is that instead of making the itbaq, I just get it loose, and I pronounce and say tufiduna, duna. The dad is an elevated letter. It has also itbaq, but the dal is an open letter. The tongue is open from the sides, of course, and it has shidda. It has different characters. It's a lowered letter, okay? So just make sure, because this is a common mistake, make sure to make the itbaq properly, that the whole tongue rises, touches and presses on both sides. The pressure is on the tongue edges, and then the front part is just touching, okay? So this is how we pronounce the dad. Otherwise, it's going to sound like a dal. The mistake occurs when the reader gives more pressure on the front part instead of just touching, and releasing the pressure on the sides, even not closing the exit area. There's no itbaq happening and causing a dal sound, okay? The third common mistake that really happens is that we leave a silent instance instead of the istitala. Let me explain more. The istitala is a sound. It's a running sound. It's a vibrating running sound in the mouth, okay? And it's not a silent sound. But people would say like this: walad-da, walad-da. Again, walad-da. This is a silent instance, but you need to feel the sound vibration running inside the mouth. Walad-dallin. Again, walad-da. The sound is running. The istitala is happening inside the mouth. Okay? Another mistake is the qalqala. Very, very, very common mistake. We say waqadba, qadba. The letter dad is not one of the qalqala letters. We make it harf shadid. We make it harf shadid. It is not harf shadid. On the contrary, it's a soft letter. It has rakhawa, but running inside the mouth. So to release the air that's inside, we make this qalqala. Although that this air causes this istitala and the vibration of the sound inside the mouth. Okay, so we say waqabba, qabba. Okay. Another mistake, which is pronouncing the dad with a ghunna sound. And I think you can guess what is happening to cause a ghunna sound with the letter dad. And this is, this means that the air is leaking to the nasals, causing this ghunna sound. The exit area should be totally closed. Totally closed. Even the nasal part is totally closed. But instead, if it's not closed, then I'm leaving an opportunity for the air to leak to the nasals, causing the ghunna sound. So we can hear fel, lu. This sound is from the nasal, but it should sound like this. Fel, lu. Okay. the sixth mistake is that we merge it with the letter that follows. For example, if I have a ta after the letter dad, sometimes what we do is that we pronounce a ta shadda and we say ittorra instead of saying ittorra. I pronounce the dad with its istitala and itbaq, and then I pronounce the ta with its itbaq also. What is done is that we pronounce a shadda ta. Okay, here also in this example, what we do is that instead of pronouncing a dad and a ta, we say arrattum. Arrattum. I go to the makhraj of the ta instead of going to the makhraj of the dad first. It should be arrattum idturra. But instead we say itturra. Arrattum. I go to the ta, and this is wrong. So make sure if you have a letter da that has sukoon, especially sukoon, and coming after it a ta or a ta, make sure to pronounce the dad first and then the ta. The dad first and then the letter ta. Okay? I know that this letter is very different because, as I mentioned at the beginning of part 1, it's a unique letter. No other languages that we know of has this letter. And this is why we call it Lughat al-Dad. The Arabic language is called Lugha. Lugha means language. Al-Dad. So the language of al-Dad, because it's unique. So, for sure it's very different from other languages, and we need to practice it. We have the reading channel. Everybody is welcome to join the reading channel slots, okay? Because we correct teachers. We listen to your reading. We correct the pronunciation. This is very helpful, and we need to do that frequently. Okay, now thank you so much for your attendance, and inshallah we are going to meet in the continuation of lesson 6 and with letter lam, inshallah. Have a good day, and see you soon, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.